Hello, I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about Cybertruck and policing. But first, Casey, roll that intro.
Bad boys, bad boys.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us today. I wanted to talk a little bit about this article from Teslarati, which we'll put down in the notes if you'd like to read the article yourself. But this article is talking about a Mexican police force adding Cybertrucks to their mix of fleet vehicles. Only 3 of them, but they are getting them added before the FIFA World Cup in 2026, which Mexico is sharing hosting rights with. They wanted to get these trucks up and running, and they expect over 5 million visitors to the state in key tourist areas. And they thought that adding the Tesla's all-electric pickup truck, it will underscore that region's commitment to blending in innovation with security. So it's a bit of a PR move. They're looking to say, look at us, we're up to speed with the rest of the world. We now have electric patrol cars, and we have the newest of the new. The Tesla Cybertruck is patrolling the streets. I understand that, and we have seen that happening in some other jurisdictions. A lot of them in, say, the Middle East, like the UAE, Dubai, places like that. We saw a recent trip by President Trump to the Middle East, not the Middle East, I guess that's the UAE. And there was a security detail which included some Cybertrucks in it. So it's something that is starting to get out there. Although in this forum here, we've talked about the Cybertruck being an ideal police vehicle before it was even released. It made a lot of sense to us. Now, obviously, price tag does come into it. Mm-hmm. But as the model becomes cheaper with, say, the rear-wheel drive, there is a possibility that it makes more sense for a police budget. But at this point, we're not seeing American cities really get involved with this. There are a couple. Lee County is a sheriff department that picked up a truck to try. They've decked it out in their colors. But it's something that, and I guess my poll to the two of you is, what do you think is stopping some adoption of the Cybertruck to be used in America or Canada, for that matter, as a police vehicle, which we all thought it was pretty ideal suited for before its launch?
Price, politics, and positioning in the market. Like the base model took a long time. The long-range rear-wheel drive took a long time to come out, and it was priced a little high for, like, you could get a couple Model Ys versus one Cybertruck, and then it became super political, and it became a lightning rod, sort of. Some of the constituency didn't really want to see it anymore after that. So, I mean, in addition to the people who already didn't like the shape.
But would you agree, Casey, that that based on the actual physical traits of the Cybertruck, would it make sense for police departments to use such a vehicle?
Yeah, it's still great for that, and it's going to be cheaper to armor, and it's got the off-roading and got the suspension. It'd still be a great car for that. Perhaps they can do like what Ford and Chevy did and make a specific police package that is hooked up to be cheaper and have what police departments need from the factory. I mean, nothing against Unplugged Performance; they could still upfit it, but there could be just something from the factory to help facilitate this usage.
Right. Patrick, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's really cool that Jalisco is doing this. And it makes sense, like you said, Mark. It's already bulletproof to small caliber rounds. So why wouldn't you be considering it? And it police vehicles are often in spots where they're idling and watching, and they have to leave when they're with their gas cars, the motors running so that they can have their alternator to power all the electronics in the car, where that's not going to be an issue for these at all. And when you're just sitting there idling, 0 miles per gallon is not good, or liters per kilometer, or whatever you want to use for units. Idling is just burning fuel. So this is awesome. We saw it in Qatar recently, or Qatar, or however you say it. And so yeah, Casey mentioned the political aspect of it. The police, the states that are more likely to adopt this, or regions, are tend to be left leaning, just because they're progressive, forward thinking, looking at not using fossil fuels. And yet once Musk became a political figure, then there are people in government who are going to be like, oh, no way, we're not going to fund that at all. So that became a problem. And electric vehicles should not be a political football. They have benefits for all of us. We all breathe the air, and it doesn't matter whether you're left or right politically. So, this is really cool. This video is great.
Yeah, this is Unplugged Performance. I guess their standard police outfit for the Cybertruck.
The upfit department. I was gonna say, it works, especially now that you're showing this video. With what we've been seeing with large sports gatherings recently, I think this is an even better choice than it already is for them to do this. And yeah, it's only 3, but that might be all you need of this brutalist, angry-looking, hard metal.
Angry looking. Yes, that's a good.
And it sounds like a pissed-off Transformer if they just push the horn. So maybe some of the rabble-rousers in the crowds will not cause so many issues, or if this thing could be positioned outside of the crowds, it can act as a second bollard for any just evil person out there.
And let's get a couple other pictures. Here's a Dubai one. They actually put it in a mall for its first unveiling, which makes sense. But here we go. Get rid of that music. So they've got it decked out in a mall. But it's certainly unique. Like, the Cybertruck's unique regardless, but it certainly makes it stand out of the crowd, even police vehicles. It's on its own when it comes to that, for sure. The design, and of course, decking it out in your police department's colors really makes it quite a billboard.
Right, and a lot of the purpose of patrols is to be a crime deterrent, and so this is going to stand out. And like Casey was saying, just having a few of them can actually have an oversized response. So that's pretty cool.
Exactly. So
you're not going to give your other undercover agent one of these, though.
No, that's exactly. You would definitely stick out with that. There's a lot of CGI out there with the police departments not really having those units, but here's that Lee County one that I was talking about earlier.
Cool.
And again, the Cybertruck in white is just such a billboard. It just grabs attention. I think it's because of the massive size of it, and of course white with the offsetting black wheels.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and there's that unplugged performance again. out at night. And again, you'd have no problem spotting that a policeman's chasing you with that amount of light bars on a truck that was following you. And of course, there it is that the Unplugged performance was at the unveil at Cybercab as well. They brought it in. But Patrick, what did you think is the issue when it comes to Cybertruck being embraced by U.S. departments?
I think it's cost and availability. The long range rear wheel, like Casey said, took quite a while to come out, and but now that there was months and months where it was just the Foundation series, or what was it called? So anyway, I think now that there are the lower cost versions available, I think it's going to be embraced by more departments, and we've seen police departments that are taking the Model Y. If this had a similar price, then they might have selected that instead. But if it costs twice as much, okay, so do I want to buy 2 patrol cars or 1? I'll take 2 Model Ys instead of a Cybertruck.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. Is the actual financial hit the department's taking on a new vehicle? Having 2 or 1 definitely it makes sense that you may want to have 2 for the same price. Casey, you had a friend that works in the New Jersey Police Department. He was on one of our previous shows before Cybertruck was released, and he was citing how that truck could work in daily operations in his precinct, and he was really excited to say that truck would be able to handle the geographic conditions of New Jersey, beaches, snow, urban centers. It had it all, and he thought it was a perfect fit for a police presence throughout the different jurisdictions that they would be patrolling.
Yeah, because you have the all-wheel drive, you have the rear steering, the resistance to small arms fire, the presence there to just make people think twice about doing what they're doing. Oh, the cops are here. That's for sure the cops. Because it's not silver, it's not a cool color. It's a black and white, or whatever the jurisdiction's colors are. And I think that probably would have. Had that arrived sooner than just the Foundation series, that probably would have helped, because you had the dual motor and you had the Cyber Beast for those stations that would already order a 4x4, and then you had it took too long. The rear wheel drive took too long for those jurisdictions that didn't have an excuse for a 4-wheel drive truck. They're urban, or they're fully paved, or just hard packed, or they wouldn't need the 4x4. It would just need a rear wheel drive. Or they're towing the boat for the dive rescues. So there's still a chance to pull this back. It's just there were some missteps, and here we can see some police departments thankfully are looking at the picture holistically, looking at the money, looking at the capabilities of the vehicle, rather than looking at the politics of that have attached themselves to something that it's a car. It should not have had any politics on it. Unfortunately, some came with it and some was foisted upon it, but it's still a good car, and we'll see what becomes of it next.
Yeah, agreed. Well, let's go to the audience. What do you think? Have you seen your police department embrace EVs at all? Any EVs in your fleet? What are they? Do you think a Cybertruck would be well suited to your department, or do you think there's problems with it? And if there are, what do you foresee those problems being, as to maybe why adoption is not there? Would like to hear from you in the comments as to what you think, what your opinion is. And while you do that, let's go to shout outs. Casey, what do you got for us?
Well, catch us on Sunday for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends over at youtube.com/Casey Green, at GCustom on X. And then catch our other Express show on Monday.
On Monday, absolutely. Patrick, any shout outs from you?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. And coming out on June 15th, I have an article about how much should EVs pay in registration, because there's currently a federal proposal, and I do not think it is a fair amount. So check that out on June 15th.
I'd say there's no way that they can say that that's fair unless they assume everybody drives tens of thousands of miles per year in their hybrid Camrys and Prius. But we know that's not true.
Yep. There is a little math.
On top of whatever your state already does, which is also plucked from the air. There's math for us, but there was no math for them when they picked out these numbers.
Sounds like the article's writing itself.
Yes. Yes.
It's in flux. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll get together next time, and together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life. Balloons!